Welcome to episode 2 of the NFL predictions. If you have checked out my first episode, check that out. Today's episode is the AFC North, and this is going to be what's considered the best division in the NFL. And I think it's a no surprise because this is the hardest prediction I can think of. So let's go at fourth place. At fourth place, you have the Pittsburgh Steelers 9-8. Here's the thing. I would have put this as a 10-win team and still have a winning season, but I still think of worry about the offense. What is Arthur Smith's offense going to look like? Running game is going to be really good, but I think that who's going to be the starter? I know a lot of people are hearing Russell Wilson's going to start. Um, they're in the mix of the Brandon Ayuk trade and one and number one wide receiver since losing Deontay Johnson, which I think it makes a lot of sense, does it? Does it, Steelers fans? Do y'all want Brandon Ayuk to replace Deontay Johnson, who Deontay Johnson's now with my Panthers? But I'll be nice to you guys. But here's the thing. They're still going to have TJ Watt. He's going to be their best defensive player. I am a little worried about offense. What is this offense going to look like? I already said it again. And can Russell Wilson make plays for the Steelers offense? And it could be a winning team. This is going to be one of those teams. Worst scenario, and this is probably one of those worst scenarios. If Russell Wilson keeps struggling and they can win these games, but offensive line has injuries. Of course, Troy Fatu has an injury, so you can check that out. And defense is still helping them 9-8. The best scenario, if they can beat the Ravens, Bengals, Browns, and their other opponents like the Chargers, Eagles, and maybe the Cowboys, I think this is an 11-win team. But I think this year, my predictions, 9-8, fourth place. Sorry, Steelers fans. Better luck next year. At number 3, and this is the same record, and this is the same situation. I got the Cleveland Browns 9-8. You can tell me Kevin Stefanski is the best coach the Browns have ever had. He is the best coach the Browns have. There is one problem they have to have. Is Deshaun Watson going to be able to play a fully healthy season? That is where I'm standing right now. If Deshaun Watson stays healthy, Jerry Jeudy has been their number 2 wide receiver, and we're hearing about Amari Cooper maybe getting traded. He's probably part of the trade package for Brandon Ayuk. If that happens, I mean, this is a 10 or 11-win team. You never know what happens. I think Myles Garrett is still the best defensive player in the game. Jim Schwartz should have his best season still. Of course, last season was his best season. Of course, losing to the Texans in the playoffs. Sorry, Browns fans. But my question is, can Deshaun Watson play a full season? So worst scenario, and I would say this is one of those worst scenarios. If Deshaun Watson goes down out for the season yet again, Jameis Winston starts. Okay? And go with me with this. And Browns defense struggles, 8-9, miss the playoffs. But if Deshaun Watson becomes Deshaun Watson from the 2019 Texans, Jerry Jeudy's back as a 1,000-yard receiver. The running game is really good with Nick Chubb healthy. Defense, top 5 defense, 12-win team. And this Browns team will go high to the ceilings of a playoff team. But I think 9-8, there's going to be a lot of questions on Deshaun Watson. Can he stay healthy? And we'll see if this Browns team can do it. But no playoffs for them. Sorry, Cleveland. No playoffs. Number 2, second place. Playoff team. It's going to come down to Ravens and Bengals. But I believe the Bengals are going to go to the playoffs. 11-6. And it's going to be about the schedule. Of course, you lose Joe Mixon, you replace him with Zach Moss, who I think does it really, is he the right RB1 for this team? I think so. You do lose Tyler Boyd, gone. Um, that really hurts. Traywin Irwin is their number 3 wide receiver. But all eyes on Joe Burrow, comeback player of the year, who I think is going to win comeback player of the year, is coming off a season with season-ending elbow injury, with that new, freshly haircut, blonde hair, which is awesome to see with a quarterback like that. But he's coming into this season with some focus on trying to get the Bengals back to the Super Bowl. And they can do it. I think this is going to be the year. But if you're the Bengals, you got to get this offensive line fixed. Of course, Trent Brown coming in from the Patriots comes in, but I do think they're going to play him at right tackle. But Marius Mims, they drafted him, and I think he's going to probably be a backup for Trent Brown. Of course, they do get rid. Jonah Williams gone, so he's now in Arizona. I think the offense with Brian Callahan gone, who is now the Tennessee head coach, all eyes on Zach Taylor, who could be under pressure on his head coaching job after leading the Bengals to just one Super Bowl appearance. Worst scenario, if Burrow goes down again and then the defense does not pursue, of course, they did bring back Von Bell and they bring in Geno Stone, and that defense has injuries, 9-8, and it's going to be the same season like last season. But if this Bengals defense dominates, Geno Stone is an all-pro, Joe Burrow is comeback player of the year, Jamar Chase have that Tyreek Hill season last season, and they beat the Ravens, maybe sweep the Ravens. They're division winners. They can be on a run to the Super Bowl, maybe a threat for the Chiefs. Never know, but I think 11-6. Which brings me to my first place, and it's going to be the Ravens. Where do we start with Baltimore? Mike Macdonald, gone. He's now the head coach of Seattle. Zach Orr is going to be the defensive coordinator. I think it's going to be interesting to watch that new Ravens defense. Of course, you lose your one of your other leaders in Patrick Queen, who's gone. Geno Stone, gone. But you have young players to step up. Roquan Smith, been an all-pro, Pro Bowler, of course, leader in that defense. Kyle Hamilton is a rising safety. You draft Nate Wiggins from Clemson, which is a great pickup there. And then you also add Justin Madubuike. It's going to be a great season coach. Losing Jadeveon Clowney hurts. Madubuike should have a breakout year on defense. Then the offense. This is going to be an interesting offense on Todd Monken's offense because Derrick Henry is in the Ravens. Of course, that's going to be the reason why I'm picking the Ravens because they got Derrick Henry. But they're going to run physical with Derrick Henry. Now, of course, they did lose Morgan Moses and John Simpson to the Jets. They are trying to replace those really hard. Zach Zilter, gone. Also, who's now with the Lions. It's a bang up offensive line, but they are going to be the best offensive line, whatever it takes. And I think Tyler Linderbaum is probably the best young center in the NFL. And if the best scenario, and this could happen, Derrick Henry goes to 1,000 rushing yards. Lamar Jackson is again MVP like last season. Zay Flowers is a top 5 or top 3 wide receiver, and defense becomes the same defense like Mike Macdonald last year. I will put this team at 14-3 at this point. Worst scenario, injuries, and this could solidify their season. Injuries. If injuries affect the offense, let's say Lamar out for the season, Zay Flowers out with an elbow injury, really significant, and defense is banged up, 10-7, and you give the Bengals that division title, and they will fall to a wild card spot. And I think they're going to win a division. I just think the Lamar is back. Is going to do it again. But he wants that Super Bowl run. We're going to find out what happens in Week 1 against the Chiefs. That is it for today. Of course, AFC South will be tomorrow. I will postpone tomorrow's AFC South prediction to Wednesday. So stay tuned for that. As always, I will love to hear your comments. And shout out to Tom Grossi, who, of course, today on his day is his 5th 5-year anniversary of when he started his YouTube channel. So shout out to Tom Grossi. Go Pack Go. As a Panthers fan, honored to watch your videos, what you have done to all of us who are a big fan of you. And as a big fan, I'm doing this to hopefully one day have my own show and share it to the world that I can do and give out the sports, the Olympics, every sport. We want to thank you, Grossi, and congratulations. You earned it. You earned it, man. And I will always keep watching you and your videos, and I will always go with a Go Pack Go. Hit the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment section below. And we'll also see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.